We've, as affectionately known as Silver Fox, and here on Silver Fox Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Guys, if I can ever, if I can recommend going to a place to train, by all means, it's not that far away. Go check out Karel's place. He's a master of submissions.
Guys, it's my pleasure to be here. I usually like to use the big fellas to make sure that nobody thinks it's some sort of thing. Let me ask you a question. Who knows a guillotine? Show of hands. Who successfully uses the guillotine? Who uses a guillotine and doesn't quite pan out because the guy's tough, defends well, and winds up either in a top position or in submission within a few seconds thereafter? Not too many, so let's fix that, all right? Guys, this is one of my favorite follow-up submissions. It's extremely lazy, so it's great for me because I don't want to move that much. But we start from the knees. Guys, first thing I want to show you is when you go for a guillotine, right, you got to make sure that you give yourself a good chance of at least setting your submission properly. If you don't start out properly, there is going to be no follow-up. The guy pops up, his head pops up like a daisy, and now you're on the bottom of he's in your guard, or maybe even top across side, all right? That should not happen, all right? When you go for a guillotine, you got to make sure the guy exposes his neck. That's one. Two, you got to make sure the opposite leg of the choking arm is up and away where he cannot control it. He can touch it, he cannot control it. And three, you got to be willing to put your back, although not flat, sideways on the ground. You have those elements. If you do this well, even if the guy successfully defends it, you will wind up either on top or in a follow-up submission. All right, so how do I make the guy expose his neck? So Karel is on the bottom, and he's tucking his neck in, right? He's protecting well. When he's protecting well, guys, he has no driving power. I can just reach in and I just drive through it. All right? And Karel is slightly bigger than I am, right? So you can see that if the guy doesn't expose his neck, he's not driving, he's just turtling up. I just drive through it. I put him on his, on his back. You can try that. We don't have a lot of room, but you can try that. You'll see if the guy is like this, you can bowl right through him even if he's significantly larger than you are. All right? So we make sure that he pushes back in. So as he pushes back in, he opens up his neck. Guys, don't try to dive in. As he opens up his neck, I make sure the side of my body is on the side, and I just gently fold underneath it as I pull him forward. Okay? Now, we're presuming that he didn't tap, right? Nobody saw that. Guys, there's two ways guys defend a guillotine. They either flop on their side, okay, or they drive really, really high up with their hips up high. So what I'll do is, you're gonna either flop on your side. So as you can see, I'm setting it up pretty well, right? So when the guy flops on his side, that opens up the carotid on the side that I'm trying to choke, as well as the top side, all right? So I drive in, I fold, he flops on his side. Now, I can still choke him unless he goes completely flat. Yes. All right? Now, one of two things is going to happen. Karel doesn't try to stop my hips from coming up. All I do is just go under his arm, scissor, and wind up on top. Okay? The other possibility, and this is my favorite, a lot of time the guy tries to stop your hips. What I do when that happens, when he tries to block your hips from coming up, I just throw my other arm over,